Thanks to EA for sponsoring this video. Season 7 Turning Point for Battlefield 2042 launched the other day, and when we talked about it recently with our early access gameplay showcase and with prior seasons also when we talk about it, one of the most asked questions I get beyond just the discussions about the gameplay is if it's good now versus at launch. A lot of people probably tried it during the beta, probably right at launch, and that was when the game was super problematic, so it's totally understandable to ask that question. But what about now? Well, actually, Battlefield 2042 is free to play for a short period of time, so if there's ever a time to jump in and try it out, now's the time. Available on Xbox, PlayStation, and PC, from today until the end of the weekend, Battlefield 2042 is free to play. Simply all you have to do is download and play the game and you're good to go. Now, what you have with free access grants you basically the vast experience for Battlefield 2042 at large. And since launch, Battlefield 2042 has had those 6 seasons of content. We're in that 7th right now with Turning Point. It included new maps, gear, weapons, specialists, and vehicles. All of that stuff is playable, plus the base offering as well. So you have 20 maps, including 4 reworked maps, 100 plus weapons and gadgets, 40 vehicles, 13 specialists and their abilities, 6 game modes, and that full capacity of Portal as well to mess around with if you want to at all. But let's talk about the Season 7 Turning Point content that is free to play as well. Season 7 brings the battle for Earth's most valuable resources to the Atacama Desert in Chile. Aligned with a new enemy, the Thousand Petals Coalition, Russian forces launch an assault on the desert mining town of El Alicanto. Their goal, to seize control of a massive subterranean water reservoir vital to the Western and US forces. Haven is that brand new map where it's urban warfare based, featuring a mix of infantry and vehicle combat set in the Atacama Desert. This map takes inspiration from Arica Harbor in Battlefield Bad Company 2, Strike at Karkand in Battlefield 2, and Amiens from Battlefield 1. Now, if we're going a little bit more detail about the map, Flag A of that gas station, it's a very open with surrounding areas, again, still open. So there's some close quarters combat to be had inside the gas station itself, but everything else is kind of overlooking in a little basin of that gas station. Flag B of the crash site, this is one that, again, you have the almost hillside going up to the urban area, but the actual crash site itself is, again, almost a basin where it's pretty open, minus the actual crash site and one building there that provides a little bit of cover. Town center, Flag C, that's where I think you're going to find the most close quarters combat, but also if you're actually capturing the flag on the street side, that's like prime engagement for medium range and rifle categories as well. So pretty nice there. Flag D and the Oasis Flats are kind of interesting because it's kind of at the bottom of all of that kind of stuff. You have the build up by Flag C, but then you drop down and you have a bit of cover looking into Flag D. And then Flag E of Checkpoint is, again, kind of the opposite here of Flag A, where it's still pretty open. You have enough cover that as a spawn point, you shouldn't be getting annihilated too much, but it certainly is possible. Now, as for your weapons you can play around with here in this, you have the AK-5C, an AR that's accurate and meant for close to medium range. The SCZ-3, which is a versatile SMG. The drum mag on this thing makes it absolutely insane. Honestly, one of my favorite weapons to play around with as of recently. And the Predator SRAW is a laser guided rocket launcher. Now, not playable right now, but later in season, if you do like what you have on offer here and decide to come back for it, you have the DFR Strife, which is a belt fed weapon with the mobility of a rifle, but the magazine capacity of an LMG. So it's one of those things that is going to be interesting to see how that plays out. But honestly, AK-5C and SCZ-3, loved both those, played a ton with those in the early capture session a week or two back now at this point. But they're weapons that can hold their own, and again, as new weapons, you might want to play around with them. In season, not necessarily in this free-to-play period right now, we will see, of course, that new bomber of the XFAD 4 Draugr, which is an aerial bomber that includes EMP bombs, radar-guided missiles, and a bit of a stealth aspect to it as well, which is pretty cool. Looking forward to seeing how that one plays out. But then we'll also see Stadium return as its own infantry only map, so that's something to consider as well if you guys are interested for like a longer term. But again, right now that's not affected or a part of this free to play access period because, well, it's just not in the game yet. So that'll be something that if they have another free to play access period, I don't know if they will or will not later on in the season, you might be able to try that then. But other than that, those are things that are still to look out for if you enjoy it right now and you decide to upgrade, or if you want to come back if you're already own the game. But yeah, anyways, that stuff's coming later. Now, there is a battle pass here with this that is accessible with the free to play access, but if you want to jump into the premium stuff, you're still gonna have to pay for that kind of thing. I'm not huge into battle passes, I don't care much for them, but just wanted to let you know that that is something that is entirely up to you, but is available in that free to play offering. Now, that's all of the base offering, and that's pretty sweet. But what's nice is that if you decide to play again, or if this is your first time and you like what you're playing everything will stick if you do decide to end up upgrading to the full game. If you end up purchasing it, that means all battle pass items earned, that means all level progression, everything that you've done will transfer to the full experience if you jump in for the free-to-play weekend and decide to upgrade. Now, I'm not sure if the deal will still be live as of the time this video goes up, but earlier they actually ran an 85% off sale on Steam where the full game was only $9. So there is a chance that there's sales upcoming or perhaps still going on. If you're interested, you won't have to pick it up for full price if you don't want to. So keep an eye out for that as well. But in terms of my overall thoughts here on Season 7, the Season 7 content to begin with, I thought that it was a solid paced map in Haven. I thought that, again, there's one of those things that has a little bit of everything for everyone. Close quarters, medium range, long range, vehicle play. You kind of got it all down here if you want it. If you wanted to play SMGs, you have those close quarters of mid-map and all the buildings you can weave in and out of. Medium range, again, there's enough open area that you can end up taking a rifle and playing and doing well with it. Long range, if you wanted to snipe, there's tons of vantage points that give you those long ranges of sight. So definitely nice here that you can jump in and play around with. Again, those new weapons, honestly had a really good time with those throughout the time playing so far, and was really pleasantly surprised with the SCZ-3 with that drum mag. Felt really good to play around with on all of that. But in terms of like my overall thoughts on Battlefield 2042 as a whole right now, kind of coming back to that intro question of, is the game worth trying out? Well, firstly, number one, it's free to play right now, so absolutely it's worth trying out if you guys haven't played it recently or if you haven't since the launch or the beta of the game. You don't lose out on anything. But honestly, I think that they have made strides forward here to make Battlefield 2042 a better experience than what it was at launch. They made some key reworks to some of the reworked maps themselves, to some of the fundamental gameplay features and stuff like that. So while I still think that there is absolutely some work that can be done to make this a better game here at this, and I'm hopeful that in the future they still keep progressing here going into it before the next Battlefield launch, which is, I think, rumored to be next year at some point. In that meantime, there's definitely been a positive shift from the beta and the launch to where we are now. So, I mean, it's entirely up to you. But again, if you'd like to check it out, you have absolutely nothing to lose out on right now. So may as well give it a shot. So if you want to, Season 7 is free on Xbox, PlayStation, and Steam right now until the 24th here. So check it out for yourself. Just simply download it and jump in. But anyways, that I think is where we're going to call it. Just wanted to fill you guys in here on the free-to-play weekend of Battlefield 2042 and Season 7 Turning Point. Let me know your thoughts down below. Are you guys enjoying Season 7 at all? Not so much. Whatever the case, feel free to let me know. But if you enjoyed the video, if you found it at all insightful, do me a favor and drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things FPS content. More Battlefield stuff here in the future at some point, but we got a lot of COD stuff coming up with Season 3 again, and then also some other stuff in between all the numerous games that we've been talking about recently. Truly appreciate all the support on all that kind of stuff. It's been a blast talking about other games and kind of just uploading what I want to, so it's been enjoyable. Appreciate you guys all stopping by and checking it out. But for now, that's what we're gonna call it. Battlefield 2042 Season 7 free once again. Jump in, and I'll see you guys out there. Peace.